I recently watched back over a few of my old videos. Videos where for the first time I really dived deep into giving my perspective of the difference between the brain and the mind. As I was watching over these old videos of mine, videos which I made in 2021 by the way, it became apparent to me that my perspective of the difference between the brain and the mind has significantly changed now being 2024, in case anybody happens to be watching this in the future, or if anybody ever even watches this video at all. Anyway, so if anybody is watching this, if anybody is interested, I'm now going to dive deep into giving my updated perspective of the difference between the brain and the mind. So look, I mentioned I'd been watching these old videos of mine. Now I'm specifically making reference to a series of 4 videos I made called Understanding the Human Being. I'm certainly not suggesting you go back and watch those videos. I'm not suggesting you waste your time doing that. I'm also not suggesting that I've got such a following of viewers that you will just know the exact videos I'm making reference to and you will remember everything I said in those videos off by heart, word for word. I'm not suggesting that. Look, all I'm saying is this. In those 4 videos of mine, which I made back in 2021, I spoke about elements of the mind. Elements such as thought, a thinking element, a recording element, and a memory element of the mind. I spoke about the mind in those videos. I spoke about the mind as if it was like its own separate environment within the brain in which these elements reside. Well, I'm now saying that's wrong. I was wrong. I'm now suggesting that the mind is energy. Look, to put it simply, mind, spirit, soul, consciousness, all these words mean exactly the same thing, I'm suggesting. All these 4 words are descriptive words, which can be used to describe the energy or the current which powers the brain. Okay? Now, in another video, I used the analogy of a mobile phone. A mobile phone also runs on energy. And a mobile phone is powered by a lead or a cable, if I can find it. This cable, if I plug this cable into my mobile phone, it gives life to my mobile phone for the fact that there's energy, or there's a live current running through this lead which powers my mobile phone. You with me? Bzz. So, like the mobile phone, the brain is also powered by energy. Where that energy comes from, who knows? But my point is, the brain is powered by a live current, energy. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm suggesting that 4 words, mind, spirit, soul, and consciousness, all those 4 words can be used to describe that energy, that live current which powers the brain. Following me? I also want to now make the specific distinction that thought, or thinking, in other words, thinking takes place in the brain itself, not in the mind, which is what I suggested in those previous 4 videos of mine. Thinking takes place in the brain itself. Because again, I'm now suggesting that the mind is energy. It's the energy which powers the brain. The mind is not a separate environment or entity within the brain in which thinking takes place. No. I'm now suggesting thought, thinking, takes place in the brain itself. So, thought is an element of the brain. Or a better expression might be, thought is a function of the brain, along with other functions such as a recording function and a memory function. The brain has endless functions, as I'm sure we're all aware. But something else I wanted to address in this video is this. In other previous videos of mine, I've lost count of the times I've used the expression, or I've made the statement that the mind and the brain are one and the same. Now, to be honest, in future videos I might well refrain from making that statement. The mind and the brain are one and the same. I might refrain from making that statement in future videos, but I do still 100% stand by that statement. Listen, let me explain what I mean by this. Here's a demonstration for you. The mind is energy. This is the mind, by the way, for the purpose of this demonstration. The mind is energy, and the brain is physical matter. The brain is an organ. It's physical matter. You following me? Now, without the presence of this energy, this mind, this spirit, this soul, this consciousness, whatever you want to call this, without this energy being intertwined with the brain, then the brain is just simply a lifeless organ without this energy. You with me? So in previous videos, when I've made the statement, the mind and the brain are one and the same, I'm obviously referring to a living, functional brain, which means energy and the brain have been intertwined together, making them one and the same. Got that? Did I make that clear? Listen, look, if anybody is watching this, if anybody is interested in all this, all I hope is that this video sparks a natural attention within you, so that you inquire into all this for yourself. I don't want anybody just to take my word for all this. That's not what I want. You've got to inquire into all this for yourself. And yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say on this matter. So, look, I'm not really one for suggesting you go back and watch any of my previous videos. I'm not really that kind of guy. To be honest, I find that a bit cringy when I've seen other people on YouTube suggesting you go and watch their previous videos. Generally, I find that a bit cringy. But if anybody is interested in all of what I've said in this video, I would like to suggest that maybe you would like to go back and watch a previous video I made called The Brain and Consciousness, because ultimately this video is kind of like a tie-in / follow-up video to that video. And obviously I'll put the link to that video in the description of this video. Yeah, so there you go. All the best. Take care.